What happens when one of reality TV's most talked about stars suddenly becomes the reason an entire show hits pause? That's exactly what's unfolding right now with The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Season 5 was expected to keep the momentum going after a drama-filled release, but instead, everything came to a sudden stop. And at the center of it all is Taylor Frankie Paul. Something serious happened behind the scenes, serious enough that production didn't just slow down, it completely shut off. And now, people aren't just asking what went wrong, they're asking why it feels like everyone around her is quietly stepping away. Filming didn't gradually wind down, it didn't pause for scheduling conflicts or creative changes, it stopped abruptly. Just days after season 4 dropped and fans were fully locked in, reports started surfacing that cameras were no longer rolling. No warning, no buildup, just silence. Sources close to production made it clear. This wasn't temporary. This wasn't a minor delay. Filming had been halted completely, with no clear timeline for when or if it would resume. And almost immediately, speculation exploded online. Fans began connecting dots, revisiting past moments, and questioning whether something much bigger was happening off camera. Because when a show built on drama suddenly pulls back like this, it usually means one thing. The real story is happening where the cameras aren't. But the real reason goes much deeper. Behind that sudden shutdown is something far more serious than reality TV drama. Authorities confirmed there's an ongoing domestic-related investigation involving Taylor, and it directly connects to her ex, Dakota Mortensen. Details are still limited, but what's been confirmed is enough to shift everything. Reports indicate that allegations have been made from both sides. That alone complicates the situation, making it unclear where the truth fully lands. And because the investigation is still open, officials aren't releasing much more. That lack of clarity is where things start to spiral. No clear answers means more speculation. No resolution means more pressure building behind the scenes. And for a show currently in production, uncertainty like that isn't just risky, it's a full stop. Because when no one knows what's coming next, everything gets put on hold. And that uncertainty is exactly what's making things worse. While the investigation unfolds, something else has been happening quietly, but noticeably. The group that helped build the show's identity, often referred to as Mom Talk, is reportedly pulling away. These are the same women who once stood beside Taylor, creating content, sharing moments, and building a brand together. But now, reports claim there's distance, and not the subtle kind. Sources suggest that several of them don't want to be associated with the situation at all right now. And that shift hits differently than the investigation itself, because legal situations can be resolved, but social fallout, that can linger much longer. When the people closest to you start stepping back, it sends a message, even if no one says it out loud. And viewers are picking up on that shift fast. But this isn't the first time things got messy. For many fans, this situation feels familiar. Not identical, but familiar enough to raise eyebrows. Back in 2023, Taylor was already at the center of a serious controversy involving an alleged domestic situation. At the time, charges were filed, including accusations tied to a heated argument. But later, those charges were dropped. And while that might have closed things legally, it didn't completely erase the impact on her public image. That moment stuck. It lingered in conversations, resurfaced in discussions, and quietly shaped how people viewed her moving forward. So now, with a new situation unfolding, fans aren't just reacting, they're remembering. They're connecting past events with present headlines, trying to figure out if there's a bigger pattern or if this is something entirely different. And fans are now connecting all the dots. At the center of everything is a relationship that never seemed to fully settle. Taylor and Dakota's dynamic has been anything but stable. Viewers have watched the ups, the downs, the emotional back and forth, and at times it felt like things were never truly resolved. That tension didn't just exist in private, it became part of the show's storyline. And even as new opportunities opened up, like Taylor stepping into The Bachelorette, the connection between them didn't fully fade. In fact, it was revealed that she spent time with Dakota right before leaving for the show. That detail alone raised concerns among cast members, with some openly questioning whether she was ready to move forward or if she was still tied to something unresolved. Because when the past keeps pulling you back in, it can affect everything that comes next. But that decision might have triggered something bigger. The timing of all this feels almost too precise to ignore. Filming stops right after season 4 drops. At the same time, Taylor's appearance on The Bachelorette is about to air, putting her in an even bigger spotlight. That overlap raises questions, not confirmed answers, but questions. Some reports suggest production may not want ongoing controversy tied directly to a major release window. Others believe it's purely about waiting for clarity before moving forward. Either way, the pause didn't happen in isolation. It happened at a moment when visibility is at its peak and risk is at its highest. And in reality TV, timing can change everything. One headline at the wrong moment can shift an entire narrative, and the ripple effects are just beginning. Because while Taylor's situation dominates the conversation, it's not the only storyline surrounding the show. Cast member Michaela Matthews has also been dealing with her own personal challenges, including relationship struggles that were revealed recently. The show has always thrived on emotional, real-life situations. That's part of what draws people in. But now, those individual stories are being overshadowed by something much larger. Instead of multiple narratives unfolding at once, everything is being pulled toward one central issue. And when that happens, it changes how the entire show is perceived. Because suddenly, it's not just entertainment anymore. It feels uncertain. And when uncertainty takes over, even the strongest storylines can fade into the background. But the biggest question still remains. What happens next? Right now, there are no clear answers. The future of the show feels uncertain, with production paused and no confirmed timeline for a return. Taylor's career sits in a delicate position, caught between opportunity and controversy. Everything depends on what comes next, what gets confirmed, what gets resolved, and how the people around her respond when it's all said and done. Because in moments like this, things can go in completely different directions. Some come back stronger, others fade out faster than anyone expected. And for viewers watching it all unfold, one question keeps coming back. Is this just a setback or the beginning of something much bigger?